Can't wait to see what we get into as we are diving into game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Hi. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE. We have the Australian Terran player. He is red, representing Legacy Esports. It is RunaMoK.
And down in the bottom right, spawning as Zerg for this game, in the blue, we have from Born Gosu, Ice. So, as a Zerg player myself, I will comment on Ice's opening. He's got it, so he's nailed it so far. Looks like he's going for a pull. It's a little bit late, but so far, so good. You know, he's
He made the overload on time.
Made the overload on time. Got the drones on time. Yeah, crisp so far. The early pull before the gas does usually signify defensive play. Like the only real aggressive play you can do off the back of this is like the 6 lings, where you try to sneak them around and get a cancel on the CC or some melee damage. And RunaMoK, yeah, like I said, he's gone for a super early drone scout, partially just to probably work out what race Ice is. And I'd imagine he'd be feeling fairly comfortable seeing a Zerg who's going pool first. Yeah, I'd say from RunaMoK's perspective, he'll just sort of keep the Reaper at home, get some Hellions out, and maybe even just go into a blind tank here, just play super defensive. So, yeah, lovely play. And he's going to check the gold even, I think.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I was about to say, I'm honestly like a little bit disappointed. Like, you know, Ice, you're playing random, you land on Blackburn, you're a Zerg. This is an ideal scenario to take a gold. Like, what the hell?
Absolutely. Yeah, missed the trick there, I think.
God damn it.
This Reaper is headed right at these lings. Oh, Ice has seen the Reaper with his Overlord. Ooh. So good job by Ice there, paying attention. He's pulled the lings back, and this is good timing from Ice. He's anticipated that if the Reaper did go straight across the map that way, it's gone by now, or it's gone up. And up is the worst case scenario, because that means sometimes it's going to come back. And we're going to see that right now. And unfortunately for Ice, RunaMoK has built his CC on the high ground, so these lings are doing nothing, but they're keeping the Reaper at home.
Exactly, and that's so important because he's denying all that scouting information, or delaying it at least, because we see that Ice went for a very fast Roach Warren.
Certainly did, and those Roaches are coming across the map now, and while it might look good that RunaMoK has built his CC on the high ground, this of course makes it very difficult now to actually secure that low ground. And maybe RunaMoK doesn't want to do that. Maybe he just wants to defend his high ground. But Ice is going to just make 6 roaches. And then it looks like he's going to probably go into drones after this. Once he sees there's no CC on the low ground, I think he's just going to macro out and do some other cheesy stuff later.
Exactly. There's no need to like force anything and push up a ramp and try to break the main base in this scenario, right? Just contain your opponent, make it as hard as possible to expand, and just drone up.
Maybe even a Ravager or two once he sees there's no Banshees on the way. There is a Viking though, so it'll push the Overlord back, so probably best not to do that. But yeah, both players should feel fairly comfortable here. Ice hasn't super strongly committed, and at the same time, there's actually, he did only make 4 roaches. The other 2 have been lings, so yeah, Ice has done a very minimal commitment here, and I'm getting Muta vibes.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was very surprised when he went for that lair. I mean, obviously he had a bunch of leftover gas because he didn't make any Ravagers, and he only made 4 of those roaches. So far, he has 2 gases. We'll see if he takes the rest. And the Mutas, they could catch RunaMoK off guard.
I'm actually very impressed by Ice's Zerg at the moment. Like, considering he, is typically a Protoss player, this is a very clever build that a lot of Zergs do, and RunaMoK does complain about, is when Zergs go roaches and then just pop out. Is he gonna ninja expand?
Is he gonna take the gold? Is he gonna take the other gold?
RunaMoK's gold?
He's taking the other gold! He's doing it!
Yo, I love this because like when you go mutas, you're not gonna have medevacs on the map and stuff. So RunaMoK's not gonna see that. And if Ice just gets 12 drones there, that's so much money that he's getting for that's great value for money. But he does have to defend this drop, and this drop, if it pokes in, he is gonna see the Spire. So
yeah,
RunaMoK
he immediately sees the Spire. I mean, there are only 4 roaches to defend, so damage can still be done here.
Dude, that micro is slick by Ice, pulling that line onto the Marines. That's very clear. And those Marines are gonna get cleaned up fairly quickly now. But RunaMoK is building an armory, so it looks like he's gonna try to go Thor to defend this, and he might just go mech. No, he's going bio. Okay. Does he have a... Doesn't have an eBay. So that's a bit of a question mark from me.
Yeah. Interesting decision. I do like that Ice actually isn't committing to the mutas because he got scattered, right? So it can be kind of risky. We'll see if he goes for it anyway as the Banshee's coming out.
Yeah, it's definitely... I think he's getting too clever here. He's he should make a couple, I think. Even just a couple, because
just from map
keep
control.
the army back. Yeah. Get a bit of map control. Obviously the gold's gonna be great with the roaches. And Ice is all the way across. Okay. Look,
he has such a big brain. It's too big. It's hurting him as well, right? Like
so that armory was for a Thor, and now he's going roaches. So it's like maybe Ice is actually so big brain and it's gonna work. What is this? Why are these roaches here?
You know what?
Like, he's doing damage.
Yeah, he's getting
but like, why are they there?
Why not?
Awesome. He's gonna he's doing damage with nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and can you get away with him?
Is he gonna get the depot? He gets the depot.
He gets the depot. He gets the SCV. Look, that's pretty good for Ice. Like, this game is actually he's behind on supply while going for roaches, which is not an ideal situation. But the gold hasn't kicked in yet. He's getting upgrades. If RunaMoK takes a bad fight on the map, because if you view this from RunaMoK's perspective, he's probably going to look at some point at what Ice has, and he's going to go, okay, that isn't much. Like, I can go kill that. But if he does try to do that without realizing the gold is there, might be bad news for him. But I think RunaMoK's going to see the creep.
Yeah, we'll see if he does. At the moment, he doesn't see any of it.
He doesn't even see the Ravages. That's actually like... Oh, if the tank is unsieged... Yo, sorry, I definitely watched GSL finally.
Heard you say Rogue? I'm like, yeah. Here come the Rogue Ravager. I don't know if Ice really has enough here. I think this may still be a little bit premature.
Yeah, with the tank on the high ground, he needs vision to bile that down, and it's done so much damage off already. A second tank comes in. Ice is going to kill down the rocks to get a quicker reinforcement path. And look, there's a lot of roaches on the way, but there's not a lot of Ravagers here, and a big thing of why Rogue's push worked was because he had Queens. He had Queens to tank, and he had Queens to transfuse. So without that, and coming down this choke, if that's what he decides to do, I think this is going to be disastrous for Ice.
To be fair, there is only one tank. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, there's 2 tanks. All right. We'll see. We'll see how he engages here. Finally, the gold base has been revealed.
Yep. So things start to make a lot more sense around RunaMoK now, though, and he's going to kill a lot of drones here before those Ravagers get down there. Only 2, actually. So that's pretty good for Ice. He's maintained that, and now there's Marines out of position. So I think Ice should just go with what he's got and try to break this. And look, he may just break this. If he controls his army well, he will take down these tanks.
Only 1 left. You know, and it's not long for this. Well, the tanks are all going to go down at the same time. The Marines, they've been dropped. They're coming back home to defend.
Yeah, he really needs to pull those Ravagers back and defend them. But look, RunaMoK's in trouble. He can hit that gold with the Marines he's got. Ice needs to bile that tank. Get the tank. You got to get on top of that tank.
Where's the high ground vision? He has nothing right now to scout it, to spot it.
Okay. He's got it. This is This is close. If he gets on top of the production here, this is going to be tough for RunaMoK. RunaMoK does have a drop on the other side of the map. It's getting cleaned up by Ice's reinforcements. This is actually...
What are we watching right now? This is disastrous. Okay, it looks like the reinforcements of RunaMoK are going to be enough. He's even pulling the boys here.
I think these Raptors are going to finish, and there's more joining the fray. He's lost his Overseer, though, which is a big deal because he can't see up that ramp. So, look, if Ice can take all these SCVs at the third out, RunaMoK should probably boost over there and pick those up, I think, and just hold that. Because, he's pushed down with the tank. That could be a bit dicey, but it looks like he's got enough stuff.
Yeah. Thankfully, RunaMoK, he should be able to hold. A couple of reinforcements are trickling in, but they're doing just that. They're trickling in. Some free roaches here for RunaMoK.
Yeah, RunaMoK now, he can split up the army and start taking out that gold. And once that, well, Ice actually has left units there to defend that, so this drop's not going to do anything. So for now, he holds the gold, but for how long?
Yeah, exactly. Here come the rest of RunaMoK's army, and this gold base is so exposed, it's so difficult to reinforce with roaches. Oh my god, pulls the drones to fight.
Oh, boys.
And this is all the drones are gonna go down, and I feel like Ice has kind of run out of steam.
Yep. I think this base isn't long for this world, and when you've got a 2-base Zerg just making roaches against the 3-base Terran, definitely spells the beginning of the end here.
I will commend Ice though, he almost did it. It was shocking.
Yeah, he came out of this with his Zerg, and really, I think, got in RunaMoK's head a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, credit to Ice. He really surprised me there, and that was an interesting game.
That was closer than it should have been. That was crazy. That was.
It was a few good biles and a little bit of army control away from getting on top of RunaMoK's production and possibly ending the game. Because think about it, he still has a Spire. If you get on top of his production, those drops that usually are a problem for roaches don't become a problem because he can switch back into mutas.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was definitely close to close to a win for Ice.
Yeah. Oh, so close. And if he's that close with his Zerg, like, I'm terrified about what his Protoss is gonna look like.
Yeah. As RunaMoK, that game, you're happy to get a win with it, but it doesn't instill confidence in you.
It doesn't.
He'll know that on paper he's the better player, and he should win. I would be very surprised if we see him not scout early again. But yeah, at the same time, it's like, well, you definitely got to respect this guy. He can do it.
Definitely. Oh boy, and here he is, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 series after a rocky game 1, but he made it out alive. It is, of course, representing Legacy Esports, RunaMoK.
Down in the bottom left, in the blue, playing Protoss, randoming Protoss for Born Gosu, it is Ice. So straight away from Ice, he sent that probe out, and looks like we're gonna get some max packs.
Let's go. Oh boy, and I hope that game number 1 didn't mess with RunaMoK too much. You were talking about how, like, it didn't really instill too much confidence. I hope he's okay because, in the previous series against Starduck, he was so on point with his scouting. I hope he does the same here against Ice.
Yeah, here's the thing, the first SCV will be a lot earlier. So he's gonna go out and confirm that it is Protoss, and then once he confirms Protoss, I do expect him to go have a look for those proxies again. But that being said, this isn't your typical proxy. This is your your second gateway, which times out with the first gateway, is what's being proxied. So for RunaMoK's perspective, he can probably tell in a gas steal from Ice, which is very nice. RunaMoK knows something's up now, absolutely. So he probably doesn't benefit too much, apart from knowing where the proxy is, by scouting for the proxy. So maybe he's just gonna defend his main, but it looks like he's gonna try to expand at the same time.
Oh boy, he's sending that SCV around. He's scouting around as best he can. He actually skipped his Reaper as well, working on Marine. So he does have them here. Gonna start working on that gas. But here comes the first Zealot. Oh, and this should get scouted.
Yep, he's gonna see it. And the best part about this, from Ice's perspective, he kind of has given it away by going for the gas steal. So RunaMoK hasn't gone for the CC on the low ground. Perhaps he wouldn't have done it anyway, but yeah, he's got a bunker up now. So this Max Pax play not going to do what it typically is strong for, I think. And RunaMoK looks like he's just going to see that gate now. No, he's not. Oh, he has seen the gate. He was just checking for more stuff down here. Okay. I can see why. I can definitely understand why he's looking for every proxy possible, given what he's played today.
Yeah, I don't blame his paranoia at all for the kind of games that he's been in. Oh god, I hope his mental health is okay after today.
Yeah. So if we take stock, Ice is ahead on Econ. Obviously, he's got equal workers, but the quicker expanding. And RunaMoK did make a Reaper because of the opening. So he's a little in the dark, and he's sending out a Hellion, but there's a Stalker on the side of Ice, and looks like it's going to miss the Hellion. So RunaMoK should get a good scout here.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop him from going straight into the main base and seeing everything there is. He should be able to spot the Stargate and be feeling a little bit more comfortable, especially since he also confirmed that there is a natural.
Yep. So I'd be surprised if RunaMoK kills more than a probe or two here. There we go, we got one going down. Can you get the other volley off? No, he doesn't. So yeah, a little bit of damage and a nice scout. So great work from RunaMoK. Definitely wouldn't be feeling too happy about that with Ice, but at the same time, RunaMoK has sacrificed tech by doing that. He doesn't have a tank out because he's been building those Hellions. His Cyclone's only just now halfway on the way, so these Stalkers are going to plague RunaMoK's expansion a little bit. Obviously, he's got a good body of Marines, but those Stalkers can kite back, and if Ice is really switched on and microing here, looks like those Stalkers might get cornered though, and yeah, one's gonna go down.
Oh god, exactly. The other one taking a lot of damage as well, just barely manages to escape. Oh! Okay.
Yeah, so definitely not good there for Ice. He while he's looking to slow that down, he was a bit too exposed, and yeah, those Marines getting a Stalker.
Yeah, and now RunaMoK, he can breathe a little bit easier. He can get into a game that he wanted to get into, right? Get out of this early game, throw down all this production, get some tanks out, get some tanks going. And I feel like he'll be a little bit more comfortable here. Oh my god. Ice actually warping in to protect his proxy.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I feel like he's going to try to bust with Void Rays. If we look at the supply, he is a little bit supplied at the moment, so that might just be trying to hold the pylon. And he really needs pylons. He's only got one coming, but if RunaMoK does push out and kill that pylon, he's going to be back in supply block territory. So I'd like to see him build more, and he's going to get a third. So interesting to see where this goes from Ice. His tech is probably behind where it would ideally like to be. So whether he uses these Void Rays to try to like siege the edge of the main and maybe pick off some tech lab or something to equalize that tech, I'm not sure. RunaMoK is getting a little bit ambitious here with his army. Those Adepts, ooh, maybe could have found some damage there, but oh, don't do that, RunaMoK. Fuck that button, man.
Aye. Oh god, he does back off. He's repairing, but I'm a little bit concerned for Ice, right? Because Ice, he's kind of given up this like more forward position. He's trying to defend his third base, and RunaMoK, when he does finally push out, like he's gonna be pushing out hard, man.
Yep, I think this is a great map for that as well, because if we have a look at the third base for Ice, I'd love to see him start working on those rocks, because I think RunaMoK's going to try to pop tanks on the other side of that, and maybe even build some bunkers. So in the near future, I can see that becoming a headache for Ice, and perhaps time to start working on those ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not on Ice's mind at the moment. He also doesn't have any shield batteries at his third base either, which is a little bit concerning. He does have them at the natural, which is great. Oh boy.
Yeah, and the warp ins here from Ice are really nice because it's going to put some doubts in RunaMoK's mind, especially if there's adepts going shade into the natural. Yeah, I'd love to see him just, even if they don't do anything, just do something to distract RunaMoK a little bit. And yeah, starting the siege up from RunaMoK, there are a lot of Void Rays here. But they're focusing on the tanks and the Marines just shred through them.
Yeah, and this is worrisome, right? Maybe if you had shield batteries, maybe if you had overcharge, then maybe Ice would have had a better chance, but just everything gets taken out. Nice recall on a bunch of probes, but the third will go down.
Yeah, and RunaMoK expanding behind it. Those adepts do come in, but there's enough there from RunaMoK to defend it. And yeah, I think RunaMoK's going to look to just kind of keep Ice on 2 base while getting his third, and yeah, this is really great from RunaMoK's position.
Definitely, definitely. Especially like killing off all those Void Rays, essentially resetting the Void Ray count was huge as well. Oh boy, and now there's nothing really to stop this tank from sieging up and just chipping away at all this production.
Yeah, and the production tab itself tells a story here. If you look at Ice, it's one thing building, whereas RunaMoK's got everything going on. You know, he's got the upgrades, he's got new buildings, he's got production coming, and yeah, I think this is looking really great from RunaMoK.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And finally, this pylon will be dealt with. The proxy does go down. RunaMoK, he can expand, he can take his third base, get all his upgrades going. It's looking good.
Yeah, I think this push from Ice is going to be a last hurrah a little bit. He's sort of just he's just going to go for it. I think he realizes that RunaMoK is pulling ahead in economy and he's got to make something happen. So this is his last ditch effort. He's going to try and make something happen. The adepts are dancing, and that's going to GG.
GG, well played. Thankfully, RunaMoK, his mind is still intact. He was able to make it through the random, and moves on to the qualifying match.
Congratulations to RunaMoK on the win, and also want to give Ice a wrap for that game 1. That was an awesome game, and I think he really made a game out of it and made some interesting some moves and executed quite solidly. So yeah, well done to Ice for that game 1.
It was very impressive. Like I was not expecting that out of Ice of all people. So yeah, really well done there.